Welcome to the PT Legends podcast, where co-host Dave Bess and myself, Scott Carpenter, share our journey and secrets of success. From our humble beginnings as personal training employees of a big box gym to struggling studio owners that have made every mistake in the book, to where we are now, the owners of a multi-seven-figure business operating multiple personal training studios internationally, and now coach and mentor to fitness professionals in 5 countries and counting. This is our story, and these are our secrets. Subscribe to our podcast, learn, take action, and build your own fitness empire. Welcome to the PT Legends podcast. Today, we're actually filming in New Orleans, and we have a couple very, very special guests. We've got Jeff Larsh, we've got Dan Visentin. They are both multiple gym owners in Canada, and they have been owning gyms and coaching and mentoring other gym owners in the CrossFit space for, a combined over 20 years, I would say, total.
Yep.
So thanks for being here, first off.
Thanks for having me.
Pumped.
And we're having you on. It's, as the owners of Greenlight Personal Training, and you guys still have your CrossFit gyms, but this is something entirely new. And the story behind this is we all got together quite a while ago, and with the model that was created with the 63-day transformation with PT Legends, that's what brought us together. And now we've created a system where we have packaged this as a license, where it's a completely done for you PT Legends model that just works incredibly well, and with a location already in Oakville, Canada. Another licensee on the way. So awesome to have you here. And I guess I'll start with you, Jeff. Like, what first attracted you to this model?
You know what? I've been in the fitness world for 20 years. Started with some hockey training as a teenager. Started my first CrossFit gym in 2010. And we got up to 5 locations at one point. Man, I've learned a ton. And I love CrossFit, and I love what it does, and I love how it helps people. But there is the one thing that I always kind of nagged at me was that if you had motivation, you came to my CrossFit gym, man, I could give you results. But we always fell a little bit short for those people that are not quite ready yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they're not quite there yet, and they needed to have that accountability, they needed more one-on-one support, and just kind of putting them into a situation where they're overwhelmed with everything you're throwing at them, they didn't make it. Within that first month, they're leaving. And what really attracted me to this model was that we were going to be able to help people that needed help. And flat out, that was the number one reason that I wanted to get involved in this. Number two, the model is insane, and it's so great, and it really helps everybody. But number one is that it helps people get amazing results. And that's flat out. So that's my number one.
Yeah, I remember when we met years ago, and like one of the big things is you want to have a global impact.
Absolutely.
And you didn't know exactly how.
Don't tell people that.
I know, I'm putting you out there. I'm putting you out there on it. But yeah, and you just didn't know how it would come about.
I think this could be it, man. I really do. I think there's going to be, it solves a lot of problems for a lot of people. And number one, like I said, it helps the end user. It helps the person who's looking for a solution and has tried a ton of stuff and it's never worked. And this thing works. And that's it. Flat out.
Awesome. And Dan, how about you? What attracted you to the model?
Yeah, I think, the whole notion of impact it resonates with me as well. And, over like my time as a coach, over my time as like a business owner, solving problems is really where I'm in my wheelhouse. And what I noticed with this model is that it solves problems for everyone involved. And what I mean by that is Jeff touched on the client side, but trainers, you're going to make more money than you've ever made, spending less time doing it. Coaches, the coaching realm, which could be the trainer in this case, but the coach, sales, you're going to make more money than you've ever made, spending less time doing it. And then finally, like the owner. Okay, so if you're someone who wants to get into gym ownership, you're a personal trainer, you've always dreamed of it, guess what? This is going to solve the problems that all trainers who take that leap into ownership have, okay? spending too much time doing things that you don't like doing.
Wearing 13 hats every day, where you got to be a professional marketer.
Yeah.
You got to be a professional copywriter. You got to know this. It's exhausting.
You got to spend 30 hours on the floor with clients.
Yep.
How are you going to do all that?
And those who are even already doing well, like gym owners who are already doing well, it's just the thought of getting a second location and having that personal guarantee and that overhead and another 4,000, 5,000 square feet and all the moving parts when you're running and you got to find 150 members, right? That's a big risk. And that's where like a lot of people just kind of feel like they get stuck and they get maxed out, right?
Yeah, my CrossFit gym is wildly successful. At least that's the way that I look at it. But the thought or notion of me duplicating that is like, I don't think it could be done without significant resources, including my own time, which is something that's not that attractive to me. But the idea of being able to open a Greenlight studio, guess what, guys? I need 25, 30 members, right? 2 staff, maybe. And I might profit more than I do currently in my CrossFit gym, which has 250 members.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's think about that, right?
It's crazy. And then the overhead, like you can do this in a space, you can do it in 1,200 square feet if you want to do it.
That's a huge problem that this solves, is that for a bigger gym, if you're looking for 4,000 or 5,000 square feet, where are you doing this? You're doing it in a back alley. You're doing it in an industrial complex. You can't do it elsewhere. So you can spend the same amount on rent, but actually put yourself in front of people. You can be in a downtown area. You can be in a retail space and actually like benefit from where you are rather than have it detract from you. So it's a marketing. It's just into your marketing. You're going to get walk-in people because you can be in front of people. And you can need, 1,000, 1,200 square feet max.
Guys, this is a movement, man. Like, I mean, like, look at the industry. The industry and people that are working in it are so passionate about what they do, but man, they get the short end of the stick. They work so goddamn much. They work so much. Think about the hours. You're waking up early, right? You've got clients in the morning, then you get a little bit of break. You got to go back and you're working till 9 p.m. sometimes, right? Working that much time, but you're getting paid fuck all, really.
Yeah.
You're getting paid fuck all, especially if you're working for the big box gyms. And, but you still love people, and that's why you love helping people. That's why you continue to do it. And the fact that, we have the ability to, provide a service for that trainers can take and create a meaningful kind of career in terms of compensation, in terms of fulfillment, and in terms of having time for your life. Like, that is a problem that this solves. That Greenlight solves that problem. So if you are a trainer and you've always dreamed of opening your own gym, but you don't want all that heavy lifting back end stuff, you just want to focus on what you're passionate about, then there's no other system. There's no one else that's doing this.
No. And my experience at Lifetime Fitness, like, I know a lot of trainers who left to do stuff on their own, and they'll leave and they'll take a lot of clients. Maybe they'll get in trouble for it. Maybe they won't or whatever. But they're like, cool, I'm going to pay rent somewhere. I'd love to have my own studio. They don't know how to do it, how to put it all together, how to manage the risk on it, where to get the capital, all these different things. And then the ones who did, almost all of them failed too, because you just don't know there's so much involved in it. And you got to learn and acquire skills that you don't have right now. And it's just so much more than you think. And it's tough because you find a lot of these people are just amazing at what they do, but they don't know how to do the rest of it, right? And they just take the normal market rates, which is extremely difficult to make a living. And it's extremely difficult to not just own a job, because you're doing the training and you're doing the sales and you're doing the marketing, and there's not enough money in the bank to hand off those roles. Yeah. I mean, we scaled ours and we know how long it took and how much help we needed. And like, this is just wrapped up in a pretty little bow. And that's, that's why we're partnering with you with Greenlight. It's just because, I mean, we've got our 6 gyms, right? And we're running PT Legends, and like, Dave, you and I can't do everything. Like, it's a lot of work. And for those of you who don't know, like Dan is amazing at solving problems and really specialized in a lot of marketing things and just a genius on that end. And Jeff is like just amazing at operations. He's had multiple gyms for years. And the systems that we're all able to create together and get running and functioning, it's such a no-brainer. It's hitting the damn easy button. Just boom. And the four of us working together and creating something like this, it's wildly more successful than anyone could hope to do on their own in a decade.
But if you peel back the business side of it, like this gets clients the real results. And like, Dave, you obviously know that, you speak about it all the time. And like, so coming into this as a trainer, like opening their own gym, you can't get away with having a gym that doesn't get people results, right? You can have the best marketing, you have the best systems. You can even be a really good coach, but if what you provide isn't getting people results, well, then you're not going to be very successful.
It sucked your soul, right?
Oh.
You always talked about like, I'm sick of being a rep counter.
A professional rep counter.
Yeah.
Like hearing you guys talk about the pain points is just, man, it gives me goosebumps because everyone is going through this. If you're a gym owner, if you're a personal trainer, and if you don't have a transformational offer, you're hurting. You're dying a slow death. I know what it feels like. You guys know what it feels. Yeah.
It's flat out.
We've talked a lot over the last year, probably, I don't even know how many hours. Today was the first day, like I could hear this different, like certainty from you guys. Like oh man, when was the moment? When was the moment when you're like, this is going to take over the world?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. Guys, we propped up a location in Oakville, and this was kind of like our pilot project. Okay, Jeff and I needed to, we needed to feel it. We needed to touch it. I
need to be in it. I need to get my hands dirty.
Yeah, and so we propped up this location in Oakville, Ontario, and guys, with very, very little kind of,
We would spend weeks without actually going to the stage.
Yeah, I mean, we hired an amazing trainer,
Yeah,
and we've actually taken on the sales side of it just to feel the system out, just to see if it works. And this thing opened the doors. We're speaking now at the end of November, but this thing opens doors in July 15th of 2021, and so we're talking 4 or 5 months. This location was profitable after month 3. After month 3, it was profitable. Name one other small business in any industry that has the ability to do that.
And keep in mind, we opened actually when we still had to work out outside because of COVID, because it's pretty tight in Toronto, right?
It works, man.
And it opened with that, where people weren't looking for it at the time. You couldn't even go inside on it. Yeah, it was pretty fearful with COVID around there too, right? And that's pretty incredible. And it's not like you guys were working full time in there at all when it first opened. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, and then just seeing the client results, as I mentioned, we can talk all day about money and the profitability. But yeah, like we have one client, James. He's lost 40 pounds in the last 7 weeks.
Post. That just his social media, right? I shit my pants when I saw that.
That's not normal results. Like we get good results, but not like James results. But like, man, you follow the program. You hold
insane.
Yourself accountable. The sky is the limit on this for your clients' results, man. It's just you asked when, he was my when.
That's it.
Yeah, he was like, we're gonna change the world with this thing. This is how it needs to be done.
So that transformation, you're like, this is different.
This is different. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's important.
I believe in it. You always believe in it, right? I wouldn't be spending my time. I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't be committing to this. But you do need those moments where you're just like, this is.
Yeah, I think pardon the pun, but like you need a green light for each one of each part of the system, right? So we've got a green light for our marketing. Our marketing works, right? We got a green light for our sales. The sales works. We're able to charge what we need to charge to make this really profitable. And the training, the client journey, all of that works. We got green light there. So it's green lights across the board. And that was my green light to move forward on this, really.
That's amazing. This whole thing, I mean, it couldn't have happened without the four of us, right? And it solves so many problems. And it's not just like a system and here you go. Like with the four of us, we are dedicated to helping fitness professionals be successful. There's a massive amount of coaching that we're delivering every step of the way through opening and attracting attention and marketing. The Immortal 100 content system that's friggin' done for you is insane. Every step of the way, the back-end systems, the automations, and teaching you how to sell, teaching you how to fulfill, teaching you how to manage. Like it's nuts. If like I had no choice years ago when I worked for the big box gym and I just had to get out and I bought a failing box with like 5 clients in it and it was just losing money out its ass. And I had to start this thing from scratch. If this opportunity was there, it would have literally put me a decade ahead of all that. It would have been insane. I probably would have owned 20 of them by now, at least. But it's such a low risk, fast return, and just how you can truly help people and lead a movement and actually be that coach that changes people's lives and gives them a second lease on life. We all want to be that person, but it's just so much harder to get people results like that. And even when we hire for the gyms, and we talk about this and everything, people are just like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted to do. I just never knew how to do it. Like every single trainer says that.
Because you can't figure it out on your own.
No way.
That's the key to this for anyone listening out there. Try to figure it out on your own. It's not possible. I tried it, Scott. I mean, we talked about our story before. I mean, we were business partners, but we tried to do it in a lot of ways on our own for years.
Yeah.
And it sucked. It wasn't fun.
No.
Like every conversation. I think that's the biggest thing.
We talk there by yourself.
It's lonely.
Yeah, lonely,
it's
right?
Friggin' lonely.
And that's anyone that comes into Greenlight, and this is something we talk about, their family. Like, and it's, you get to have fun. And most 99.9% of fitness professionals out there don't have fun.
Yeah.
Well, how often do you sit there and kind of bang your head against the wall? Like, oh, I need to figure out marketing. I can't, like, I just can't figure out how to get new clients in. And it's like, no, we've solved the problem. We've solved the problem with multiple solutions that we're able to provide for Greenlight owners. And, if something's not working, we got something else, and we'll work with you to make sure that you're getting those clients and that you're keeping them and you're going to get the fulfillment that you need and the return that you need on it.
Short and long term, paid and organic.
Love it. Got to hit all fronts.
You have to. And shoot, it took all 4 of us and many combined decades of experience and many hiring of many experts in all these different realms to put this thing together. So it's been a privilege so far, and I'm
just
excited.
Getting started, boys.
Just getting started. Another license coming up real soon. As soon as the build out gets completed, like this is exciting. So
that's cool.
I love it. Let's go,
I'm
guys.
fired up, man.
I know.
Thanks for having us on, boys. This is fantastic.
Absolutely. And everybody, check the show notes. If this is something that you want to learn more about, check the show notes. We're going to show you exactly where to go to get for more information on this. But Jeff, Dan, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you. We'll see you next week on the XPT Legends podcast. Dave and myself, Scott, would love to thank you for tuning in and listening to the PT Legends podcast. You can get direct access to us by joining our free Facebook group. Go to www.facebook.com/groups/7-figure personal trainer. That's 7-figure personal trainer with the number 7. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you can keep on learning and keep on living. Finally, if you picked up any tips whatsoever in this episode that you found helpful, be sure to leave us a review and tell us what you like best about it. Can't wait to see you on the next episode.